Welcome back to my channel. Di video kali ini saya akan mengajak kalian untuk jalan-jalan ke Jewel Cave, Margaret River, Australia. Jangan lupa subscribe, like, komen, dan share ya. Jewel Cave atau Goa Perhiasan. Tiket masuknya $25. Penjelasan di video kali ini kebanyakan bahasa Inggris ya guys, karena guide kita tentu saja berbahasa Inggris. Yuk mari kita sama-sama belajar bahasa Inggris gratis. So let's enjoy this video and check it out.
So we call this a solution pipe, and it was once created by a tree root growing through the cave ceiling here. And that tree root eventually rotted away, leaving behind a hole in the ceiling. And over time we had a bit more rainfall passing through that hole, dissolving a bit more limestone away, creating a bigger hole, big enough for a human to fit inside. So Cliff Spackman was lowered down by a rope tied around his waist, and he came out the bottom of the solution pipe and hung in the air here. And he took one belongs to a carry tree, and this one over here, it's actually slowly decaying away. This one belongs to a marry tree. So the carry and marry trees are both native to the area here, and they're both a type of eucalyptus. These ones would have created little solution pipes through the ceiling there, and those trees would still be growing on the surface of the forest floor above us, with the cave around us. We can see some more spiky formations coming down from the ceiling there. What do you guys reckon these ones might be? They are called stalactites. And then you might see some more rounded formations through from the ground up, reaching a stalactite growing from the roof down. And then if we have straws, now they're hollow inside, just like a drinking straw, allowing for that water to pass through the ceiling of the cave and contain nothing. So that cave straw on the left there is one of the longest cave straws down in Australia. Stalagmite growing above us. So this stalagmite was created by these stalactites dripping from the ceiling here. And inside the cave we have our very own carry forest growing inside here. Do you guys see the tree tops and the tree trunks? And we even have a couple jellyfish floating at the top there. So all of these formations that we're seeing in here is made out of a deposit of calcite crystals. So all these white crystals that we see seeping out of the cave walls and ceiling here is all calcite crystal. So these were formed by very slow seepage of water coming through the walls and the ceiling of the cave here, depositing a deposit of limestone against the walls here. So if we have a look over here, we'll see another feature. We call this our frozen waterfall. And you can see how the water is getting out of the limestone, flowing over the limestone shelf here, depositing calcite crystal along the way. So in 1980, Cliff Spackman's daughter was actually married in front of the frozen waterfall here. Now, he obviously see some special formations. What do you reckon this reminds you of? Coral, yeah, this is our cave coral. Now, it's not real coral. It's still calcite crystal that's been deposited in a way that makes it look like coral. So we get that clumpy-like effect on the ends of the stalactites hanging off the cave walls here. So in 1957, when Cliff Spackman first entered the cave down here, right where we were standing was actually a body of water. And you can see the erosion of on the limestone walls around us here, where that water would have eroded away the limestone. So it's about 1.5 metres deep. And when Cliff entered, he had a little head torch on his head, and that head torch shone into the water below here, reflecting perfectly back up onto the walls of the caves, just like in here.
Wow.
So that lake down here was crystal clear. So when you shone a torch into it, you could see straight through it, creating these beautiful reflections. So when we had that water down the bottom here, and these crystals were dripping water at the ends of these stalactites, those water droplets were dripping into the lake down the bottom here, causing a bit of a splashback. And that splashback of water was splashing back up onto the crystals and the walls of the cave. And that's how we got that clumpy-like effect of the crystal. And they form in a very special way, so only when the cave wall or ceiling is on an angle like it is there. So this crystal shore has joined between the wall of the cave, connecting up with this column along here. Kind of looks like a stained glass window or a streaky bacon rash. And they can get quite large, so they can grow a couple metres in length and diameter, but they're only about 1 centimetre to 1 millimetre in thickness. And I'll be able to show you a lot more as we pass through the cave here. So you see those yellow orange stains in the crystal there? So they're caused by tannins in the water. So a bit like when you make a cup of tea and you put a tea bag in hot water and watch the water change a different colour. So the tannins in those tea leaves have stained that water a different colour. And that's exactly what's happened here in this section of the cave. So, and then the forest floor on top of that. Has anyone been to the Augusta Lighthouse before?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys could picture how tall that lighthouse is in your head? Yeah, so we could fit that whole lighthouse inside this cave here. If the lighthouse was on an angle with the base of the house down here and the top of it just touching the ceiling up there. That's about 39 metres. So if it ever goes missing, we'll know where to find it. I doubt. They found a lot of other skeletons inside this cave. No human bones, just animal bones. So this Tasmanian. So Don Ellis was just floating in his little inflatable raft boat right there. Now you're probably wondering what happened to that lake down the bottom here. And unfortunately, that lake just all naturally dried up with the water table dropping inside the cave here. And then by 2002, there wasn't as much as a puddle left over. And that's just all due to environmental conditions outside of the cave. So in the southwest of Western Australia, it's already up there, and you'll see a lot of stalagmites that are leaning on their side. So that's where the limestone has been eroded away underneath by that lake, causing the stalagmites to just crumble on their side just like that there. And this one over here, as we walk through, you'll be able to see that this was once a big column joined in the middle there. But that limestone that column was sitting on has been eroded away by the lake, causing that boulder, which is pretty important because it's the only structure holding up the ceiling down here. So we hope that one doesn't crack in the middle. I'm just kidding.
Nggak nyala.
Terbagus ini.
Enggak, ini bagus deh.
Iya, terbagus ini. Yang bagus. Yang paling bagus ini.
Kelamar.
Gak pernah di Indonesia itu.
Kuana.
Emang ada iguana?
Di Indonesia.
Aku makanya jadinya ngajak katanya buat pintu.
Aku pakai ini nih.
Keren ya.
Mama nggak bisa mutu begini nih.
Di situ yang paling ini nanti yang
Itu tercipta berapa ribu tahun ini? Ribuan tahun apa?
So there are a few back there along that walkway which we're walking along that was still dripping water onto the boardwalk. You might have seen like a little wet patch on the ground there. Yeah, so that one's still dripping water, but these ones are all mostly dry. Just like this one up here. That one is completely dry. There's no water inside.
Oh, dry.
It's got that sparkly
Sparkly.
effect
Di
there.
menurutmu api ya ternyata. Bagus ya malah dinyalain.
There's no food for them down here.
Oh.
Sekarang di sini nggak ada tempat buat masuk, nggak ada makanan di dalam.
ini Indonesia like this more bad
More bats? Yeah, there are a lot of
and
bats.
not nice.
Not no smell. Yeah, I'm glad we don't have any bats down here. Yeah. We do have bats living in Mammoth Cave, they're living outside, but they're not inside the cave, they're just in the domain there.
Iki lho wapi iki. Wih. Keren.
Ndi?
Putih-putih ku lho.
Mana putih-putih?
Oh, garam. Itu api kayak orang itu putih. Putih. Itu putih ya.
And you can see
Oh.
how sparkly this crystal is here. So
Wow.
it's completely dry, there's no more water inside the crystal there.
Oh.
Alright, can I get you guys to just keep moving along? We've got to keep up with the rest of the group there.
Jalan gitu.
Oh.
Just in Lake Chamber, the one that we came from. And they dated this one to be about 400,000 years old. Now that's a pretty young crystal compared to others. This cave, which we're standing in, was created about 1.5 million years ago. through the slow trickle of water passing through this cave here, creating a little stream, and that's how this cave was actually carved out in the limestone. So this limestone around us, we're looking at about 2 million years old. So this is a part of the Lewin Naturalist ancient limestone ridge, which runs from Dunsborough all the way down to Augusta. Has anybody driven along Caves Road, going from Dunsborough down to Augusta? Maybe a few of you. So believe it or not, you were actually driving across the top of about 150 different seconds, and we can experience how dark this cave can really get without all the lighting we've put in here. So I'll get everyone to find a spot along the railing. Kids, go find your parents. Hold on to someone's hand there. Alright, so this only really works if we all have our phones turned off and put away. Have a look at those ones up there. So these ones are called helictites, and they're known as the cave mysteries. So scientists for years, they can't pin down what causes them to grow like this. They kind of defy gravity, growing off in all kinds of different directions there. And because they take thousands of years to grow, it'd be very hard to study one of them because you have to be alive for many thousands of years to track their growth. And the best thing that they can pin down is when Cliff Spackman first entered this chamber down here, he found that stalagmite over there, and he thought it kind of reminded him of an animal. What animal do you guys reckon that one looks like? Quite a few answers there. So Cliff thought that this one reminded him of a camel, so they called this chamber Camel Chamber. And we have a couple little animals down here. So if we have a look up there, you'll see a stalactite hanging from the roof with a little koala hanging onto that stalactite.
That's so cute.
You could see that one up there?
I don't feel like he's real.
And then if we have a look over here, we've got a little cave fairy hanging off the stalactite. Alright, does anybody have any questions? Yes?
It's a dog.
Yes.
Nah, itu dia info yang bisa saya berikan kali ini. Semoga bermanfaat untuk traveling Anda. Terima kasih sudah menonton. Sampai jumpa di video-video berikutnya. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.